Today we're making dinner together. Dinner that is keto and carb friendly. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make some dinner together. We are making keto lasagna with zucchini. I promise you it's not as weird as it sounds. It actually tastes amazing. You won't miss the noodles at all. We've made this several times and we absolutely love it. So stick around. We're going to do a step-by-step version on how to make this low-carb keto zucchini lasagna. To start off with, we're going to brown a pound of ground beef. And I'm not going to sit here and video this whole process because I know we all know how to brown some ground beef. So we're going to do that first. Once we've got all the meat browned, we will add the sauce. And I have found this is much cheaper than the Rayos because that stuff's like $9 for a bottle. This is only half. It's like $4. And I buy it at Kroger. It's called the Silver Palette. I normally use like a pasta sauce with it, but the marinara I use on our pizzas. And I'm using it in the lasagna today because I don't have the other one. But technically, it's a half a cup per serving, and it is only 5 net carbs for a half a cup. We're using a whole cup for the sauce, but this is for the whole lasagna. So 1 cup. That's going to be our sauce. We're going to heat that up. Don't really have to heat it up much because you're going to put it all together and put it in the oven anyway. I'm the kind of person though, I love flavor, I love seasoning. So while we have added the sauce, I'm adding some black pepper. I know it's already got some seasoning in here, but if you're like me and you want your stuff to have flavor, I've got Italian seasonings. I'm definitely a seasoning person, for sure. Then we're going to add some garlic powder. Don't worry, I'm not out. I got another bottle. I just bought another bottle. And just a smidge of sea salt. We're going to mix that up. And then we're going to put this aside. Excuse the loudness. I had the fan on for when we were cooking the ground beef there. So we're going to set the sauce aside. It's not watery. It's very, very good consistency there. And while we do that, we're going to cut up our zucchini. So I have really kind of feel like I'm not too proud of Kroger lately with their zucchini because I feel like they normally are better than this. They didn't even have any organics, so I couldn't even buy that. But it's supposed to be 1 large zucchini. I'm just double checking my camera here. It's supposed to be 1 large zucchini. They didn't have any large. Honestly, I have a hard time finding large zucchini, so I got 3 small ones. I'm going to start out with 2 and see how much we get out of that. Technically, we're going to use an 8x8 pan. You can double this and put it in like a 9x13. I will do that sometimes, but this time we're just doing the regular. It actually makes 4 servings. So I will usually, there's 2 different ways you can make it. You can use a mandolin slicer and you can do strips of this. Or the easy thing for me, rather than trying to break out the slicer and not cut my finger off, is to just slice really, really thin. You're going to leave the skin on, cut off the ends, rinse them off, obviously. And then you're just going to layer them, kind of like you're making a banana pudding. Ah, that's a bad reference. We're making lasagna here, people. So, we're going to do that. So, I'm going to start with the 2 smallest ones. Probably should have done this on my table over there. But what I'm going to do is make them very, very thin. Now in the directions, it tells you to actually put some salt on it, let them drain, tap them dry with the paper towel and all that fun stuff. But you know what? That takes a lot of time. And honestly, it really, I've never done that with my zucchini making this. It might have a tiny bit of water in the bottom when you cook it in the oven. After all that, it's really, honestly, tastes excellent. I don't have any issues with there being a little bit of water in the bottom. So, obviously, I'm not a professional, but I'm trying to make them really thin so that they don't end up really hard when you layer them together. Okay, I've got all my zucchini sliced up. We need to preheat our oven for 350, which I love that. I hit preheat and it's like, bam, that's the first one on there. So what I'm gonna do now, I need to measure my cheese. We need 4 ounces of mozzarella cheese. I love this thing. Little cheapy scale. If you need measurements for stuff, I mean, it really helps to have something like that to help measure your food. I'm trying to show it to you. It's kind of hard to because it casts a shadow on there. So 4 ounces doesn't sound like a lot. Once you start piling it in this thing, it's like, whoa, there's an ounce. This is not pre-shredded. We started shredding our own cheese because it's way cheaper. Not to mention, this past week, which they might even still be on sale, Kroger had their 2-pound block cheese and the pre-shredded on sale. There's 4 ounces for $3.99. 2 pounds of cheese for $3.99. Can't beat that. So we've got our cheese out. It calls for 10 ounces of ricotta, but if you're like me, you don't like to waste. The ricotta is, this one's a 15 ounce, and honestly, I just use the whole thing. Because if I put some ricotta in the fridge, it's just going to sit there and not get ate. So what we need to do now, since we have everything together, our oven is preheating. You don't need to coat this with anything because, like I said, it's going to have some juice and stuff anyway. So you're going to start layering. It's only going to make like 2 layers of each. So what you have to do is kind of divide up the sauce. You're going to do meat. You're going to do meat, zucchini, and then ricotta. And then the mozzarella is going to go on top when we get done. So I'm going to kind of do my best to divide this in half. The meat on the bottom. Okay. So just spread that out as best as you can. And then we're going to take the zucchinis and start layering them down. Obviously it wouldn't take as long to layer if you did the long strips, but I hate dirtying all that to put, you know, just to cut up a couple zucchini, which, I mean, technically, you know, that makes me kind of lazy, right? And I don't want to make a bunch of extra dishes. Heck no, that doesn't make me lazy. Who wants extra dishes? Really? So we're going to layer our zucchini. This actually makes it a little bit better when you go to serve it, when you go to bite into it. You've only got these little bites. You don't have these long strips that you have to cut or bite. And 2 of those small ones may have actually been almost too much. Try not to put the really thick ones in here. If I have extra, I'll just save them and cook them up later. Because we love some zucchini. But what I'm going to do is take some of these really thin ones and kind of cover a couple of these spots here. just so we have enough. And if you feel like you want to measure your veggies, most people don't worry about measuring their veggies because we need all the veggies we can get, right? So I think that's good enough. So you've got that on here, and then you're going to take the ricotta. This is the most annoying. Well, it's great. It's juice. Get that out of there. This is the most annoying part, is spreading the ricotta on top of zucchini. So I just use my little silicone spatula. I love these things. I need to buy another one. And just try to spread it out as best as I can. Obviously it would be better probably with the strips, but you know, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment and I just want to cause myself more trouble. So spread this out, and then you're going to do another layer of the meat. And I'm going to try to fix my zucchini here in a minute, since I've made a mess of my stuff. You know, I think I have an issue. Every time I record, I feel like when I'm cooking something, it turns into a disaster. Hey, it's a mess. Gotta love it. But, isn't that how it normally is? When you try to show somebody something, yep, that's the way it is. Alright, so there is our first half. Now we're going to put the rest of the sauce on top here. Spread that out as best as we can. So the only thing is it's kind of hard to spread things on top of the other sometimes, depending on what you're using, but it's not that bad. And it really sucks because I'm kind of OCD. So I want it to be perfectly even, and I just don't have enough for that. So that looks better. Woo, that's nice. Alright, round 2. Layer of zucchini. I almost wonder if it would be easier if I put my ricotta on top of my sauce. Probably not. We're going to finish layering this. OCD's breaking out again. Better quit. I'm not going to have too much extra. Just a little bit. I'm going to try to put some on the little spots like I did on the other layer. That probably doesn't help. I don't like these thick ones. It probably doesn't help when you're trying to spread this stuff out. When I've got them layered like this, all cockeyed. So yeah, definitely better to just put them on a mandolin and do strips. And you can at least hold the strip down while you're moving stuff around. I don't want to put too many on here. I guess I'll just add them on here. We'll see how they do. At least they'll be on top. So if it's hot, you know, gets hot, it'd be better to cook that. Had an extra knife out. Alright, second half. Let's try doing something a little different here. Let's try 4 corners. Or maybe. Maybe we can spread it out a little better that way. Okay. Maybe it'd be easier if I just tried to mash down, not move it so much. Whatever. It's not supposed to be pretty, right? But we kind of wish everything would be pretty the way we want it to be. Help me! Send help, I need help. I can't spread my stuff around. That's better. Woo woo! It's working with me for a minute. Maybe, maybe not. Alright, so you get the gist. That is all spread. A little bit extra. But it's cheese. Cheese is good. We're not worried about cheese, are we? So improper of me. We ain't worried about that. We aren't worried about that. Alright, so now we got our cheese. We're going to sprinkle our mozzarella on top. Our 4 ounces. I'm throwing it in between the stove and the cabinet on the floor. Cat might get it. Cat might not get it. Alright, so we've got all that together, and then we just have to cover it with foil, and we're going to cook her for 30 minutes. If you can use your broiler, you can take the foil off. Sorry. If you can use your broiler, you can take the foil off for the last 3 minutes and broil the top a little bit. But honestly, in the 3 years that we've lived in this house, I tried using the broiler for the very first time when I made this for the first time. And our broiler started stinking really bad. It stunk up the house. So I don't use the broiler. So 30 minutes, and we'll come back when it's done and see how it turned out. Okay guys, here it is, fresh out of the oven. I do it for 30 minutes, and then I take the foil off and do it for another 5. Obviously, like I said, it would be a lot better if you could use the broiler, but our oven, it started stinking really bad when we tried to use it the first time, so we just don't use it. But I'm gonna let it sit, and then I'll have some for dinner. I'll show you what a serving looks like once I put it in a bowl. Here it is out of the oven and cooled off. I've got my serving pulled out. Makes 4 in that 8x8, so there's really good serving size. So definitely plenty of food. You should not be hungry when you get done. A little bit of liquid in the bottom, like I said, from the zucchini, but I don't have any issues with it. Doesn't make anything watery or less tasty. Give it a shot. I will link the recipe below to where I found it on Pinterest. Do you make your keto lasagna any differently? If so, tell me how you make yours. Also, if you'd like to see more cooking videos, please let me know below. Hit the like button and let me know if you want to see more like this. Hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when I post new videos. And subscribe to my channel. Share and tell everyone to check out these awesome keto recipes. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day. We don't talk anymore.